Which freshman stood out in the first week of spring practice for my Alabama Crimson Tide? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black, coming back once again to talk about my Alabama Crimson Tide and the freshman who stood out the first week of spring practice last week. We ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna get right into the video, and we're gonna start out by talking about freshman phenom Keelan Russell. If you remember, last year of high school, Keelan Russell threw for over 4,500 yards, 55 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. And will that translate to the University of Alabama? I don't know. But that's what he's bringing to the University of Alabama and my Alabama Crimson Tide. Keelan Russell was really impressive last week. Really impressive. He impressed his teammates. He impressed his coaches. Mainly offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. Ryan Grubb compared this guy to 2 former quarterbacks that he coached, and both of them is in the NFL right now. That's formerly Fresno State's quarterback Jake Haener and Washington's former quarterback Michael Penix. Okay, this man, when he compared him to Jake Haener, he compared the decision making, the quick ball release. When he compared him to Michael Penix, he was talking about his field vision. He got a wide range. Okay, and these are his exact words. One of the things I noticed, think about Jake Haener, way back to Fresno State. He's at the Saints now, got a really quick release. Once he made his decision, he was very decisive with the ball. I see a lot of that in Keelan. Keelan's vision reminds me of Michael Penix a little bit. He has good wide vision with the field and can see it even when he doesn't know exactly what's going on. That's next level. If you can see things and make plays when you don't know exactly what's going on, that is next level, man. And this guy doing it and ain't even played one snap as a college football quarterback. He's already doing it. And Keelan Russell is accurate. Now, I ain't saying Keelan Russell is going to be the starter for my Alabama Crimson Tide, but I do believe this is going to be a tight quarterback battle. That's what I believe, and I'm sure Keelan Russell, with his talent, with his ability, is going to be right up there with those other 2 guys, Ty Simpson and Austin Mack. I just think his inexperience now may have him to wait another year. That's just me. But can Keelan Russell come in as a freshman and be a quarterback for a lot of other daggone college football programs? A starting quarterback for a lot of other football programs? Yes, he can. Already. And a lot of teams would love to have Keelan Russell right now. But guess what? My Alabama Crimson Tide got him. That's all I know. And he ain't going nowhere. So, it is what it is. I'm happy that we got him. And I'm happy with what offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb got to say dealing with Keelan Russell. Excited. Ecstatic. Okay? Our quarterback position is looking good in the future. It's looking good. All right? And then next person I'm going to talk about is a wide receiver, Lonzel Brooks. One of the best wide receivers to ever come out of the state of daggone New Jersey. This guy is impressing his coaches, impressing his teammates. And remember, Coach Kalen DeBoer already said that he wants this to be a player-led team. And these players, defensive players, is giving Lonzel Brooks his props. These defensive backs, all right, giving him his props. One of them is Bray Hubbard. Bray Hubbard just came out bluntly and said he's hard to keep up with. He's hard to cover. He got great hands. That's what we want to see. Lonzel Brooks is impressing. And Locksley Brooks will be on the field in 2025. You're going to see a lot of Locksley Brooks. Trust me. Trust me. We still got a young receiver core. Remember, Ryan Williams, he's only going into his second year. Now, this is Jeremy Bernard's last year. But remember, you still got Bubba Hampton going into his second year. You got Cole Adams, who's coming back from injury. You got Jalen Hale coming back from injury. A couple of guys going in their third season. But for the most part, this wide receiver room is young. So we're going to have another year or two with a lot of these wide receivers. And Locksley Brooks, he's going to be a mainstay at Alabama. He's going to be on the field. He's going to be a playmaker. He's going to be a playmaker. All right. Even though he may be a second team wide receiver, he's going to be a rotational wide receiver. That's what he's going to be. You're going to see him on the field just like you saw a lot of young players on the field last season. Coach Kalen DeBoer is not afraid to play freshmen. If you can perform, he's going to put you on the field. All right? He's going to put you on the field. When I say young, we got Isaiah Horton to come in. Transfer from Miami. He's impressing every daggone body. But as far as true freshmen in this wide receiver core, Locksley Brooks is your guy. And you will see him on the field in 2025, like I said. Now let's move to the defensive side of the ball. And let's talk about defensive back, Dejon Lee. Man, they talking about this guy like he's a experienced college defensive back. That's how they talking. Everybody loves this guy. I mean, everybody. Matter of fact, let me get to this. Let me get to Dejon Lee. Where you at? Dejon Lee. Lee caught a lot of people's attention with his length during the first media viewing period of the spring. He was also smooth in coverage while going through the drills. This was really impressive for a guy his size. Alabama defense coordinator Kane Womack revealed Lee had a pick at practice on Friday while discussing what he brings to the table. He looks like a corner right now. he just looks like a really long ass corner. He's got really good feet. He got a maturity that reminds me a little bit of Sayin Brown. Y'all know who Sayin Brown is. Sayin Brown was that young corner, true freshman, that made a game-winning interception in Tuscaloosa, Game 4 against the Georgia Bulldogs. That was Sayin Brown. That's the guy. That's who Dejon Lee is reminding Kane Womack of. Okay? But anyway, I don't want to put too much pressure on him early, but he has a demeanor that would indicate that a freshman could come in and contribute. Yes. Mo, talking about Maurice Lincoln, does such a great job with just the discipline and detail of those guys in the position. I think he had a pick today, which was great. But he gave up a ball today as well. So those are the give and take of how we will respond in the spring practice goes on. All right. You know, every cornerback or every defensive back give up a ball, but they also make great plays. As long as you making more great plays than you giving up, then you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Dejon Lee, another one, you know, that's going to contribute in 2025. Now, remind me, these are true freshmen. I'm just talking about the freshmen. But Dejon Lee on the defensive side of the ball, he's going to contribute just like Xavier Brown, Xavier Mincy, Red Morgan. All those guys was true freshmen last year, contributing on the field a lot. Meaningful playing time, not just garbage time. Xavier Brown, starter. He was a starter. True freshman. So like I say, Coach Kalen DeBoer, they ain't afraid to put these young freshmen on the field. Put them in the fire. And they'll put them in there early too. That's what makes them great. That's why my Alabama Crimson Tide going to win a national championship with Coach Kalen DeBoer. Telling you right now. Another freshman I want to talk about, Michael Carroll. Michael Carroll. Probably one of the most dominant offensive linemen to grace high school football. Michael Carroll is mean and he is nasty. Now in high school, he was a road grader. The guy is mean and he is nasty. And at Alabama, already, week 1, they already, coaching him up to play 2 positions, guard and tackle. They want these guys to be able to rotate. All right, so Michael Carroll, hopefully, will be one of the great offensive linemen to wear the crimson and white. But as of right now, this guy is impressing the coaches, okay? They say he took some reps at guard, also tackle. You don't want to make it harder than it needs to be for him. You try to keep him in the same position for multiple practice, but also the flexibility for a guy like Michael Carroll does exist. He does have that frame where he could play some tackle, even though, like you said, he's probably down the road in game probably more of a guard. Okay, more of a guard, but have the flexibility to play tackle also. All our offensive line need to have that type of flexibility, if you ask me. I'm just saying, especially if you're a starter, you should have that flexibility. I know Tyler Booker had it. So, but some talking about Michael Carroll could be a starter on this offensive line as a freshman. I ain't going to say he can't. I'm not going to say he can't. But if that's the case, he'll probably be, I mean, you got to beat out Geno VanDermark. That's all I'm saying. Because I think Jaden Roberts, his position is solidified. So you'll have to beat out VanDermark. And if you that guy and you can do it, you should be on the field, Mr. Michael Carroll. That's all I know. But going back to the offensive side of the ball, the things I said about Keelan Russell, the things I said about Lockzilla Brooks, you can't do it without your offensive line. The offensive line got to do their job. If they do their job, whenever these guys are starting or on the field, if that offensive line do their job, Keelan Russell is going to show up and show out. Just like Lockzilla Brooks at that wide receiver position. Okay? That's all I know. If that front 7 on the defensive side of the ball, if they show up and show out, Dejon Lee will have it pretty easy. All right? But Michael Carroll, you'll be the one putting in the work. Bullying opposing defensive linemen. Being the road grader that you was in high school. Okay, so those are the 4 guys, the 4 freshmen that stood out in week 1 of spring practice. But I also want to mention incoming transfer Isaiah Horton. Isaiah Horton. The guy, his route running ability and his footwork is crazy. It's crazy. Those guys at Miami is still talking about the kind of wide receiver he can be at Alabama. Say it ain't so. This guy can stretch the field. He can shorten up the field with those slants. Come on, man. Great hands. All right. They already comparing this wide receiver core to the ride outs. Say these guys in 2025 could be ride outs 2.0, and we all know who the ride outs was. Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Waddle. the ride outs. So, just saying, watch out for that. But what made those ride outs? Pass protection. I'm going to continue to go back to the offensive line. Because on the offense, that offensive line is the most important piece. I don't care how good your quarterback is. He can't be at his full potential without that offensive line. I'll keep going back to that. All right. So, tell me what y'all think about these 4 guys, man. And, hey, I get with you. I respond to you. You know what I'm saying? But, until then, y'all be blessed. And remember, KB don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide for real. And roll damn Tide.